3, 2, 1, and wow, Dave delayed it more than he ever has in his entire life. He's lucky I don't fire him. Episode 157. You know, I feel like these things are going in reverse. 157, well, I guess we're making progress, but shout out to the people that have podcasts that have thousands of episodes, because that must take a while. We're getting good at this. We got co-host Dave Drakes. We got producer Ethan behind the computer screen, and he'll be queuing us up. Today's episode, we're going to talk about random stuff, as we always do. We're going to talk about Coaching Wanted and answer some Coaching Wanted questions, some podcast questions as well inside of the app. If you guys haven't noticed, a lot of this podcast is very app-centric. So if you're not in there yet, well, now's the time, because we're doing a trip giveaway. October 7th, we announce a winner that's going to fly in from anywhere in the world, by the way. And I don't want to get everybody's hopes up too much, but we haven't picked a winner from outside of the US in a couple of trips now. So we're due for somebody from outside the US as well. If you think you don't stand a chance, you do.
Yep.
All you have to do to enter is get inside the app. October 7th, we'll pick the winner, and then we'll fly you into my hometown. And you'll basically just get to experience my life for a couple of days, going to ride single track right from my house, which will be epic, hitting all my favorite local restaurants and coffee shops, going to the spa, using the pool and the hot tub in the backyard. So sort of just, honestly, it will be just day in the life. But I don't want to brag too much. My days are great. My days are great. So come join me. Come join me. Get in the app to do that. Dave hates me for saying that. It was ultra disrespectful.
So
but my days, you know what?
You know
what? They're pretty nice, guys. They're pretty nice. I've designed my life in quite the way so far. Okay, class is coming up. What do we got? As we're recording this, yesterday, Coach Ty was in Sweeney Cycle Ranch in Colorado. He said it was awesome. He said we have to do a 5-day camp here. This place is unreal. So we'll look into that. Shout out Coach Ty. Today, Coach Mitchell, Coach Alessandro, and tour manager Al are at Moto 101 in the UK. So shout out to England, and those classes always sell extremely well. This one is not an exception.
Track
and then
is
they
sick.
go straight from there. Track is really
Track
cool.
is so
Track
cool.
owner is really cool. They do a good job of their social media.
Yeah, really good.
That Moto 101 operates how I wish every track operated, taking social media seriously and actually putting a marketing effort forth and running a track like it's a business. And I know a lot of tracks do that, but not all of them. And I wish more would. A lot of them use the excuse of, maybe it's not an excuse, it's just their actual life circumstance. It's more of a hobby on the side, and they go to their normal jobs, and then they just run the track on the side, which is a good place to start, I guess, right? If you're wanting to start a business and test the waters a little bit, build it up in the background. But I do urge you guys to make the leap, because you might be surprised on the others. You might be surprised by what's on the other side of that leap, in that there's a lot more income potential and doing something that you love, which running a track is a labor of love, but it's pretty darn cool. Okay, class is coming up. So they're in the UK today. South Fork, Kentucky with Coach Mitchell. Albany, Oregon with Coach Ty. Italy with myself and Alessandro. Then we go to Canada. We got Dylan Wright, Canadian champ. Not this year. He had a not so great season this year, but he's won basically every other championship that he's participated in, it seems. He'll be at Gopher Dunes and Wild Rose MX in Calgary.
Oh, that's so sick.
So 2 epic, very, very popular tracks with Coach Mitchell, Coach Ty, and Dylan Wright. So those, speaking of classes selling, those have been killing it lately.
That's so awesome.
So don't wait if you want to sign up for those ones. Kaweah Creek in California, Super Coupe in Michigan, Bar to Bar in Kansas, Promised Land in Maryland with myself, and then Moto Pacific, which that will be our first time going there, I think, in Washington. So a lot of really cool places, a lot of first-time locations for us in October. But, yep, don't wait. Sign up. Go to themotoacademy.com. And those are my plugs to start this podcast.
Sweet.
Those are my plugs. So, Dave, have you ridden a dirt bike lately, or are you like me and we just talk about riding dirt bikes and don't actually ride them?
Buddy, I haven't even sat on my new bike properly. It's literally been
in the garage. Just like it still has the tags on it, still has all of like the shipping stickers and stuff. So I feel kind of bad about that one. But dude, I haven't
What's the
been
plan?
able to. So I gotta tear it down, grease up the stuff. But I got some content I'm supposed to do with Partzilla, and we're talking about maybe a cool bike build up. So I don't know what the process is for that one, and I don't want to, jump the gun and be like, dang it, I should have recorded this,
Right.
So I should have a game plan for like Monday or Tuesday. We'll figure that out. But I want to ride for next weekend. If I can ride next weekend, I'll be solid. We got a little bit of a break here, a little bit of a reprieve. So I'll have some free time throughout the week and stuff to ride and get situated, So we'll get there. We'll definitely do. How about you? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been seeing some clips here and there, some single track, but you been out?
Yeah, that's been about it. But hey, that is way better than nothing.
Yeah,
It scratches the itch.
Yep.
And I will say it's a little boring,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good enough. It's good
Mm.
enough. And the reason I say it's a little boring is because the pace, I guess I could make it not boring, but then it goes this is how I look at woods riding. It goes from slightly boring
Mm-hmm.
to highly dangerous
Yeah.
really, really quick. There's
Yeah.
not much, for me at least, this
Mhm.
is speaking for myself, there's not much of an in-between
Mm.
to where if I'm like, all right, I'm going to go a bit faster here, all of a sudden I can see myself not necessarily smoking a tree, because that would probably be the next level up of
Yeah.
trying to go fast, but
Just getting some
just
trouble.
crashing in a section that wouldn't
Yeah.
feel very good.
Yep. Okay. That
Especially
makes
right now,
sense.
there's leaves. There's a bunch of leaves on the ground.
Yep.
It's like you can't see where you are half
Yeah.
the time. So the pace that we're riding is very slow, but it's still on a dirt bike. I
Mhm.
can still, especially the Stark in the woods, like
Mhm.
you could bunny hop everything. So I'm just trying to get creative and pop over stuff. So it is scratching the itch just enough. But I'm excited tomorrow. By the time this comes out, we'll have already done it. We have Moto Academy Supercross race. I'm going to do it on the Stark, which reminds me. Ethan, do you have your phone on you? Can you text me right now and say charge the Stark?
It's funny. Before we even recorded, I was gonna ask you if you charged it. So, but yeah, I'm already on it.
Yep, nope, it's dead as a doornail. So, yep, charge the Stark. That's important. I have the KTM sitting in the garage, but I don't really feel like.
Yeah, you haven't gone through it either.
The Stark's nice.
You haven't like touched it.
No,
or done
well,
any,
it did get
stock.
so Mechanic Brad at Salt Lake City did the full. It got ridden for almost an hour of ride time. And then after the hour of ride time, he went completely through it and did a full service.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Technically, it is ready to go.
race.
But this is how lazy I am. I don't want to wash it after I ride.
Oh my gosh.
We've got some pretty cool
know.
plans for that bike, so I'd say keep it clean for us. Keep it clean for us. Well, I don't want to dox any information yet, but we have some pretty cool stuff coming in November. So
Ethan, honestly, AJ's gonna blast it out next week anyway. So probably on stage.
Just blasted it out. We're giving it away, and
with
this
the
is how you
microphone.
can win.
AJ will host a TED Talk with the plans for 2027, 2028. Just the whole deal.
I do want to figure out how we shoot the videos for it. I really liked how the Bryson DeChambeau, I don't know if that's how you say it or not, the pro golfer, did the videos. He was giving away the car, and it was, hey, every day I'm doing this trick shot until I make it, and when I make it, I'm going to pick somebody to win this car.
Ooh.
It was pretty entertaining. I feel like maybe I want you to put a bit more thought into how this can be shot. I think it might be pretty doable. All we need is in my backfield, set up a little ramp to, I guess it could be ramp to ramp if we could find that somehow, but just some type of jump setup where we can go somewhere with some type of jump setup. We could even go to my neighbor's, the Lenochi's house down the street. And I want to jump the Stark with an egg on a spoon in my left hand, and I have to clear the jump and keep the egg from falling off. I imagine it might be impossible.
Oh.
But I feel like it'd be really fun. I'm going to jump with this egg and this spoon every day until I can land it. And when I land it, and we can position the KTM. Maybe it's on top of the jump and I jump over it, right? Because that's what he did with the car. The car was just in the background. He's doing his thing, hitting a golf ball because he's a pro golfer. So I just feel like that could be a cool way to kind of do this giveaway and promote it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, or we could have KTM in the background, you have to like change a tire or something. How many days will it take AJ to change a tire on a bike? That could be a lucrative way to do it. Yeah.
It would take years. It would be the longest campaign we've ever executed.
So that's funny. I was at Travis's house a couple weeks ago, and he was telling us a story about how he'd bet his buddies like, "Hey, I can change a tire faster than you for like, I bet you $10 I'll get it faster than you." And his buddies would always do it in like 2 minutes, and he'd be like, "Oh, dang it, you beat me." And he's like, "By that point, I already had a tire change for $10 in 2 minutes." He's like, "It was all upside for me." I was like, "That's the most AJ Catanzaro thing I've ever heard, dude."
Oh my god,
the most AJ Cat story.
That's smart.
I'm stealing that next
smart.
time we need a tire change. I'm gonna make that bet with somebody.
Dude, Travis has so many stories like that. It's ridiculous, dude. It's
that's smart.
It's insane.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
AJ,
yeah,
so I'm gonna race the Stark.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch my KTM.
That Stark looks like it's an absolute weapon for single track. So I'm excited to see what you'll do in a Supercross situation. If you could have any
80
pro national track in your of any era, doesn't matter if it's in the 70s, 60s, 50s, 2010s, whatever, in your backyard to ride every day, what would you pick? And I'll ask you this too, EQ.
I don't know. I've said this many times. I love Millville. It's kind of got all the stuff that you would want, but at the same time, no, I don't know. There's nothing beats. I don't even need that. We're trying to find property to really, we've been trying for the years now, but lately more than ever, we've been heavily on the hunt. Part of me thinks I don't need anything really that overkill at all.
Probably not.
I just want good dirt, a good system to harrow it nice and deep, and just nice
flowy
ruts. I just want some nice flowy ruts because I don't get to ride that often. At class, usually you have beginner or B riders there, so the ruts might form, but it's nothing super flowy necessarily.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the only time I get a chance to ride. So I have the itch lately to hit some sweet like turn track flowy ruts. It's been too long.
Okay.
It's been too long.
What would you pick, EQ?
It's been too long.
This is gonna be so random. I'm just gonna throw out something wild. 2010 Claverack. Only because that was the first track I ever raced. And there's no jumps, dude. Yeah, there's no jumps. It's just natural terrain. So that's where I go out to shine.
For people who aren't, New England East Coasties, it's like Dilla minus the jumps and like the bigger platform, but that is a quintessential old school grass track. That is natural
that was
elevation.
My first race, Claverack.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
On a PW50. I was too young to race. I remember my dad brought me to a NEMA race. I was 3, so they weren't going to let me race, and he caused an absolute scene, and I was able to race.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think if I had any choice of track to pick for my backyard, it would be early 2000s Kenworthy in Ohio. That track just screams cool outdoor motocross track with enough jumpy stuff to keep you interested, and just looks like it raced like a dream. So
I like tracks like that too, where it's Supercross style. You don't see that,
but
really.
For certain, you don't see that anymore. Like certain sections are like, it's like a Supercrossy type section, but there's still a lot of outdoor elements to it. AJ, we don't see that ever.
Well, you don't kind of, but Vegas, the last round in Vegas was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it was kind of close to that. Like there was some sweet looking, there was like the table over the bridge thing.
Oh, that looked sick.
Really cool.
That looks sick.
Then there was the one that was maybe a couple turns after that. That was the double down the hill.
Yep.
You had sort of like around the finish line section, you had the single onto the table, which was kind of like a Supercrossy style on off.
Yeah.
That track looked fun. I thought.
Yep.
Honestly, watching that it brought back a little bit of the last round Vegas vibe. For the first time in many years. Like watching the last round, like I kind of wish I was there. And that's not often I say that. I almost want to plan to go, if nothing else, just go watch the Vegas round
For
next
sure.
year. It seemed cool.
It gave me like
I was into it.
Monster Cup type vibes, and those tracks, I always loved those tracks. So yeah, it kind of gave me that vibe, but it's still a little more outdoorsy, like the high speed section where Chase crashed, unfortunately. All that stuff, I was like, wow, that's really cool to have that unique of a setup, in a super crossy type environment. That was really rad. That track is a really good example of them stepping outside the box a little bit and changing things up and keeping things flowy and fun. We got some great racing. And yeah, just like you, AJ, I never. Go ahead.
What were your thoughts on the Deegan?
Kind of lame. I'm a Deegan fan, and like to watch him just make so many just ill-advised attempts like that just kind of soured me a little bit. I was like, and again, I'm not in that position, so who knows what's going through your mind, right? If I was put in that same position, would I do differently? I like to think way differently. But yeah, kind of soured me on him, dude. Like I didn't think that those moves were necessary. I didn't think they were smart in the way that he did it. Like, yeah, obviously Rubbin's racing, running them a little high, trying to, take a line away. Sweet. But like T-boning and playing around and trying to that took it like a step too far to where it was like, it looked desperate. You know what I mean? And I just didn't dig that type of riding.
Well, it just kept going.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like yep. I want to talk a little bit about this, but before we do, let's give a standing ovation moment of silence, round of applause for Joshi
Moto. Because yes.
The way that he just stayed in it.
Yes.
And was so smart. I mean, the way he was playing, he was still racing forward because in that situation, like, what the heck do you do?
Exactly. Do you run D? Because do you run defense? Are you trying to take him out? If I'm him,
yeah. If I'm Joshi, the obvious first attempt is don't let him catch you in the first place. Okay. Yeah. Then he catches you.
Yep. Yep.
Now, the first thing I'm going to do is find a straightaway and let him go by me in a straightaway. Obviously, right? Like, just let him go by.
Yep.
But the problem was Deegan wasn't letting that happen. So Deegan would have slowed up the race so much to where it would have turned even worse. So like he didn't really have the choice to do that.
Exactly.
So he was just left in this really exposed situation of like kind of racing, but kind of not.
Yes.
But he was very smart about it. Like he kept the pace moving forward. And then when he got to a section where he knew he was about to get hit, he basically would keep the bike upright enough and he wouldn't expose himself enough to make it to the point where he could get really slammed hard. Worst case scenario would have been what it was, which was just a little kind of collect each other and tip over.
Yeah, but even that, AJ, and even that to stay level-headed in a situation like that where you're not panicking and you're scrambling. Dude, he got up with like it was like a practice tip over and still was able to ride forward and not take a vulnerable situation, which he had, like you said, no control over, and make it even more so vulnerable, right? Like protecting what you could in the situation. And you talk about this a lot, dude, is like having that mindset that allows you to do stuff like that. It was a masterclass in confident racing, riding your own line, but also being mindful of the situation that you're in. Like he rode so well, and you were absolutely right. What all of us would have done is almost like a pullover kind of deal, let him go by. But you couldn't. Deegan was slowing the race down. Yeah. You had guys behind you, Vial and whoever. And also Vial picks like the weirdest times to go fast. I don't know. Super big Vial fan, but I'm like, buddy, why is it always last minute we're like winning races, But yeah, it was crazy, dude. It was absolutely crazy. But you're so right in your evaluation of him. Hats off to Joe Shimoda, dude. His stock just went up exponentially, dude. It just
for multiple reasons. I mean, for the fact that he won the championship, but just the way that he did it and winning. I mean, I imagine that would win over a ton of fans.
Yep.
And then even what he did in the press conference had me cracking. He was such a good sport.
Yes.
About all of it.
Yes.
In the post-race interviews where like forget even the press conference, like in the quick ones where you could tell it's basically right after they're done. He was even cool about it then.
Yeah.
So that just shows, I think he's higher level than maybe we all anticipated. That just shows he's within himself. He's worried about him. and what he can control, which is him.
Yep.
He's not playing into that game. And it kind of makes Deegan have to play a bit of a different game too. Like you saw, Deegan was still trying. He's going up to him on the line and trying to do stuff, but it wasn't creating what it would have created with everybody else, right? Which is the crazy rivalry, high tension, and then that's what Deegan wants, because that's what's going to make the other person either rise to the occasion or more than likely crumble under the pressure. But he wasn't getting that out of Joshy. And Joshy on the line after the press conference, he goes, yeah, Deegan comes over and says, "This, you have no idea what's coming." And he says back, "Sorry, I don't speak English." Like, that is hilarious.
Oh,
and
dude.
then just Mike drops it on the, I mean,
So
I was a
cool.
fan before,
Oh,
obviously,
for sure.
but that was just took him to the next level.
1,000%.
Shout out,
Yes.
Joe Shimoda.
Epic.
But back to talking about Deegan, as I'm watching it, I'm trying to keep an open mind, and I'm like, okay, well, every single situation, the whole thing, I watched it back and just trying to play through without being critical or judgmental. I don't know how I think it's fine. I think on Deegan's end, it was the most overkill I've seen, probably, as far as just being drawn out. But here's the positives of it. Kind of like I talked about Kitchen's takeout a couple of weeks ago, Deegan's attempts on Joe weren't dangerous that I saw. Now I'd have to watch it back a few more times maybe to
I would agree.
They were, they were cheap shots, yes.
Yeah.
But they weren't
Like
they weren't
they weren't
break a leg type of going at him.
Yep.
He wasn't trying to hurt him.
Careen off the track or something. Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, usually I judge it based on how dangerous is it. So that's kind of where I start.
Yeah.
I do also think that the AMA was justified in docking him. I think it got to the point where you have no choice at that point but to probably put a penalty on a person, right? Now, I don't think the penalty, I heard another interview somewhere else talking about that the penalty, if it's triple points, then it should probably be extra. The penalties should be tripled as well, which that's actually a really fair way to think of that.
I agree with that one. And plus, Rashidi called me this week and he was like, "Hey, you remember when like Jett got docked for letting Kenny by at like one of these SMXs one year?" I was like, "Oh crap, I kind of forgot about that." He was like, "Yeah, if they don't dock him positions for that, for like that cat and mouse thing, it's like, what's the precedence then? It's almost like a free for all, and like the AMA just kind of gives out positions based on their feelings for the night, So he brought up a really good point. But like, that's I totally get that. I agree. If it's triple points and that going into it, triple points for penalty, right?
Yeah, the triple points also do sort of, it's a recipe to have stuff like that happen.
It is.
So I think on one aspect, whether it's Feld or AMA creating that, if they have to realize that multiplying point situation is going to create scenarios like that way more frequently.
For sure.
But yeah, I liked it for the sport. I think that it was highly dramatic.
Yes.
I was extremely entertained.
Yes.
So for a sport, I argue net positive.
Yep. I agree.
Comment below. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm extremely open-minded and curious to know what everyone thinks. And I know that this was a pretty charged thing that I'm sure a lot of people have opinions one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it for SMX. Other than that, I mean, Jett and Hunter killed it, but
yeah, dude,
talk about that.
I will say Hunter got so much faster over the last couple of years. I know Hunter really, really well, and like we've always known that he's fast, and you've even talked about how fast he was, but it's been hard for us to see it because he's almost been like a 1B in comparison to like a Tomac or a Sexton and Jett and maybe even a Roxon. But I feel like lately, take the SMX stuff aside, you're not even counting that. I think Hunter is every bit as good as the big three that we talk about every single weekend. I think if he were to win the next 5 championships, I would not be as surprised as I would have been last year, the year before. I want to give him a bunch of credit that, dude, Hunter has gotten so fast and has answered the call to like, hey, are you going to step up and be like, you know, one of the guys as well? Dude, he's a savage, dude. He rides so freaking well. It's insane.
Yeah, and he has a lot of things, strengths that maybe are even Jett's weaknesses. So
Yeah.
Jett's biggest weakness, I would say, is his first few laps. He's like me. He is so careful
Yeah.
about what's going on around him. And what that does actually is it puts him in a more susceptible and dangerous situation, where if you look at the best person I can think of off the top of my head in the first few laps is Roczen. Roczen, the first few laps is unbelievable.
Unreal.
And you never see him mess up in the first few laps because he's moving forward.
Yes.
As on the contrary, you kind of see Jett getting pinballed around a good bit when he doesn't get a good start. Hunter's pretty good, I think, at navigating that 3rd to 10th place start. A little bit better than Jett, I would say.
Yeah.
He's not quite as conservative is great, but I think sometimes Jett takes it a little too far to where he just wastes a bit too much time and actually puts himself in maybe worse situations because he is so conservative. And then you also saw this year a bunch towards the end of the year. I think Jett just getting a little overexcited and just hitting the gate randomly. I mean, that's kind of an odd thing to have happen, but it happened 2 or 3 times pretty quick. You didn't see Hunter doing that, so maybe he's slightly more locked in, a little less emotional in his riding potentially. But yeah, Hunter low-key has a lot of strengths.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Super impressive.
Yeah.
But not surprising. I mean,
exactly. Same. What do you think the implications of Vegas has on the nations now that we don't have Chase, we don't have Deegan? You think we still stand a chance against Netherlands, Australia, who else? Belgium, wherever else?
Cooper's replacing Deegan, or Cooper's replacing Sexton, and Deegan's still riding.
So apparently, Jay Coop is the fill-in for Deegan. He's like a backup. Deegan's still, I guess, locked in the spot, but they're unsure if he's going to race or not. Jay Coop put out a selfie video about it yesterday, so I think it's as of now.
He did? What, saying what?
It's basically that he was supposed to fill in. He got told he's now a backup rider, and he just made the decision to continue being a backup rider and didn't want to let the country down, right? So as of right now, it's still Deegan, Tomac, and RJ Hampshire with Jay Coop as the backup. So
wait, who did RJ get a fill-in?
I believe so. I think that's what I saw. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
I think he's covering for Sexton.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad about for sure. Like RJ,
it's a good team. Actually.
Yeah, RJ's really solid in the 450. I'm just like, man, if we had Sexton healthy and we had Deegan, I think that would have been really cool. It would have been a really good vibe, you know, going in with such strong riders. But dude, RJ,
strong riders, yeah.
RJ ain't slow, man. RJ is solid.
In a fight it out situation, I choose RJ over Sexton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mentally he's probably a little bit further along.
And that's where he lives, dude. That's where RJ lives, dude. He likes that kind of riding. Yeah.
Jay Coop, also amazing choice. So I would probably prefer Justin Cooper over Deegan if Deegan isn't 100% all day long. I would probably, there's an argument to be made that I don't know, Justin Cooper should be on that team, period. I mean, he's so good. And he also doesn't really crack under pressure either. He kind of rises to the occasion when he needs to. So, he talk about underrated. Justin Cooper's extremely good.
And it would have been,
anyhow, I don't.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see Sexton on the Cowie or on the KTM one last time before he went to Cowie. So it's all those guys. I'm like, man, it would have been cool to see that one last time. But hey, it's silly season. Everyone's switching, so just got to get used to it.
Yeah, so I guess we won't. Next time we see Sexton, it's on a different color.
It's on Cowie. Yeah, he'll be going green. Tomac after this will be KTM, which is going to be so weird to see. I don't know how that's going to work with the hydraulic clutch versus the cable clutch, and it's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, you got some guys switching up. Should be interesting.
All right, Ethan, hit us with it. What are we?
We're about halfway through, so I figured maybe we can get into some podcast questions, and then from there do some coaching wanted. That works for you guys. So
yeah, let's do it.
First up, Alex Panda representing the UK Strong. So he's got a Lit Pro clip, and he said, "Who did it better? Could you also break down the difference in technique?" So we have a clip side by side of Jett and Tomac, and I don't know Concord. So this must have been not Salt Lake City, Charlotte SMX round.
These are really fun to watch too. Okay, so just two small details, but watch when he comes off of the second, not this one, but the landing right here. Watch Tomac hang the rear wheel versus Jett gets into the pocket. So that makes a big difference. And then right here, are you able to pause this too or no?
Yes.
Okay, so pause it when he gets to the clip so you can see the rear tire hang up. So when you talk high level supercross riding, not clipping your rear wheel is massive. It's right on the landing of this triple. So right here. So where he has it paused, that right there is the difference between a privateer and a factory guy. That right there is the difference between making the main event, not making the main event. It's just like tenths of a second that add up big time. So you learn this when you learn supercross riding, and it's very hard because it's a small difference. Even if you let it play through one more frame. So Jett technically overshot it, right? And it doesn't even really look like he overshot it, but he did. He landed, like, if I was on my suspension in Jett's situation right there, I would have got a weird deflection. He would have saw me do a boner air off that next jump because he went a little bit deep into the pocket. There's such a small difference between hanging the rear wheel just a bit to landing too deep in the pocket. Next thing you know, you're getting deflected one way or the other. But with Jett's setup and landing confidently with still head and chest forward, that's going to gain a little bit of time. And then after this single, let it play through. I'll tell you when to pause it. When they land right here, Jett is better at this than, well, maybe anybody that I've ever seen, where he sits 3/4 of the way back on the seat and the rear wheel sticks to the ground like sticks to the ground like glue. Where not that Tomac is doing a bad job of getting rear wheel traction here, but it's just a different level of what Jett's doing. And when you guys watch him ride, I'm sure that this is obvious because when he comes out of corners, he does it. When he lands jumps like this, he does it. He has his bike set up perfect where he can sit at that 3/4 mark, or even sometimes that's pretty far back on the seat. And just like mad skills, just stick that back tire to the ground. I saw a video of Kaida Wolf doing it to make a pass on somebody.
Yep.
That clip just got sent through to me somehow. And he like jumps a braking bump going around a corner, just lands sitting down, and just basically doing a mini wheelie. That is a difference maker too. Because at that level, you're talking about per section, you're not even talking about tenths, you're probably talking hundredths of a second. So you almost can't even notice the difference visually. But those are the two things I would point out. That's a good clip. That stuff like that's fun to watch. Shout out Lit Pro.
Is there ever a time when you do want to clip a section like that, like Tomac did?
Yeah. So sometimes if it's a really, really, really tight corner after it, and I need to get the bike slowed down, there are times. How come my screen just started doing a countdown? Okay. There are times where I'll case a jump front tire first a little bit on purpose to just get the bike to slow down a little bit quicker.
Okay.
That is slightly less of a supercross thing. It's more of I can't think of a specific obstacle at a pro moto track, but it's used more in that.
Downhills.
Case the jump just a little bit.
Downhills into a corner. I'm thinking something like I don't know if the track's different now, but back in our day, AJ, like Walden, that last downhill before a really tight left-hander, the farthest section in the back, there was a downhill that I think a lot of people were, even 50s, were like casing just to slow down a little bit to make the corner. And so sections like that,
as long as you know how to case correctly and get the bike to stick and plant.
Correct.
Most people don't know how to case correctly, and they get like that unloading effect. Yeah. But yeah, Alex Panda, great question.
Yeah,
cool video.
Next up, we got a question from Jeremy Miller. How can we get newer riders to understand that the bike alone doesn't make the rider fast? I see a lot of beginner riders purchasing the factory edition bikes or purchasing A-kit style suspension, factory style parts, only to be at the back of C class or the beginner class. It genuinely hurts my heart to see.
Well, so I like, if you have money, buy whatever the heck you want, you know, buy all the cool shiny stuff, right? That's what I would do. That's what I do.
Mhm.
Now, if you don't have money, this is where I get bummed out, where people spend money on the wrong things. You know, I'll see somebody that doesn't really have the money to be spending. They'll get a Yamaha and then they'll send their suspension out. And next thing you know, they're messaging me in the app saying, "Hey, AJ, my suspension was pretty good and now it's just not quite right." I'm like, wow, dang it. The Yamaha stuff was so good. Like, why did you touch it? Why did you spend $1,000 just to make it worse? This is where it is important for people to reach out to us inside of the app and just make sure that the money is being well spent, but it's almost never the bike. So Jeremy, it's a good point that you bring up, because at C level, B level, local A class level, 99% of the time it is not the bike. Yeah. And I don't care what you're on. You could be on a 2001 Suzuki RM 450, if they even made them in 2001. Probably didn't.
But it shouldn't matter.
That has a kickstart on each side of it, and it's got
four
3
pipes.
Exhaust coming out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all those pipes.
And it weighs 412 pounds. It shouldn't matter. You should be able to still ride with the technique that we teach at the Moto Academy on any of those bikes. And when you do, you'll then realize when you get onto the better bike, it just levels up the riding experience. So if you can afford it, absolutely do it, because it just makes it more fun, in my opinion. You don't have to work as hard in the annoying little spots. But yeah, I mean, I think what I dislike the most about it is when I see somebody show up at class and they have a Works Edition 450 and they just shouldn't be on a 450. Yeah. That's usually what gets me, of like, man, like, not only do they waste more money, but this is dangerous, because they shouldn't be on a 450. I had it at last class. I have it at almost every class. The 450 problem. I also have the 125 problem at almost every class. You know, it's the 45-year-old, the 50-year-old vet rider that's 175 pounds, 185 pounds, and they're like, AJ, I don't know. Should I get a 125, a 150? Should I get a 300 two-stroke? Should I get a 450? They've got all the bikes on the list. And it's tricky because they're at that weight where they're appropriate weight for kind of all of them. But for somebody that wants to be able to go a little bit slower, I discourage the 125 and the 150 because you just have to ride it harder. I had an older gentleman that was at class in Missouri. He messaged me inside the app. I gave my feedback, but I must have got to him like a couple hours too late because he had already gone out and bought the KTM 150. And he showed up to class on it. And after class, he agreed. He's just, he goes, you were right. You have to ride this bike way too hard. And I was like, yeah, well.
This is our last podcast question from Cameron Bradshaw. If teams racing and SMX would use onboard communication systems, would that eliminate the needs for mechanics with pit boards? Or are the mechanics with messages on the board so ingrained into the sport that they will never be done away with?
Do they do any type of pit board situation for MotoGP or Formula One? I feel like they still have boards of some sort.
They've got boards to show differentials in time, but that's pretty much it. Nothing for like, hey, watch the last corner or breathe or breath, as many people, right? No, nothing. Breath, right? But nothing other than like time differentials. But that's a really good point. If we did have that communication system, and AJ's used it extensively and is a big proponent for the Cardo systems, would that do away with the need for the mechanic to put the board out? You know, could that have saved, I would say, Josh Shimoda's hand in Supercross? You know, I think it would do away with it. You know, I think just the swinging of the towel and then boop boop, hey, watch the last corner or whatever it is. It's all you really need. And I think a lot of riders would key into it. I think there was a onboard or something with like Savachi that had it. And dude, how cool was it to be like, hey, how much more time do I have? And he could adjust his hot laps accordingly in real time, really fast, not have to wait till he comes around and kind of see what's happening. So
yeah, and time qualifying especially.
Oh my goodness!
I can remember on slow laps, I'm just like, where's the freaking pit board? And my mechanic can't find me, or he's not paying attention, or he's writing it down at the worst time, right when I need it the most. I'm just like, gosh darn it.
Yep.
yeah, I don't see a negative to it.
Same.
I don't see a negative to it because they could be easily monitoring it to make sure that there's no cheating of any type going on.
Oh,
right?
for sure. For sure. Or even
and
like
if there's too many variables to where it's not like slot car racing to where they'd be like on your inside, block your that wouldn't be happening. It's it happens too quick.
Same.
The rider would be like, shut up, I got this.
Yeah. No, definitely.
That wouldn't be helpful to the rider.
Or even from a safety aspect where it's like, hey guys, heads up, triples, red cross flag or something, like if the 100%. AMA could get on and say,
because that is my worst fear is coming up over a jump and having something on the backside that didn't belong there.
Exactly.
Down rider or whatever.
Exactly.
And you still see that happen all the time when it shouldn't.
The time. And how many jumps, AJ, would you say on a supercross track are kind of blind?
Well, the finish line 100% blind, Supercross triple totally blind, and depending on where you are in a rhythm, you could be down in the base of it.
Over unders, I mean, you name it.
Yep, totally blind. Cameron Bradshaw, good question. Also, you still have the #1 profile picture in all of the Moto Academy, so absolute shout out to you for that.
Stud.
Now, Coaching Wanted. So, by the way, if you're listening to this and you can't see it, of course, I'll do my best to describe what we're looking at, but you can watch this podcast in full on YouTube. You could watch this podcast in full inside of the app. You could also watch this podcast in full, I think now on Spotify, right? So if you want to watch it, not just listen to it, make sure you do that because there's definitely some benefits to watching it clearly, especially right now. We're going to dive into Coaching Wanted, which is a hashtag that we use inside of the app for anybody, which, by the way, it's been popping off lately. Yes. If you are in there and want to set in riding footage, you use this hashtag so our coaches can see it and can respond to you. And also all of our hashtag NADA coaches can respond to help you as well, which everybody in there has been doing such a good job of lending that helping hand. The feedback is extremely accurate, 99.9% of the time. So it's what I always say about the app. Like, you don't have that negative community or negative aspect that you have to weed through on other social media platforms. And also you don't have the inaccuracy. It's almost, we're in an area where I in a book last night, it called it the paradox of abundance, in that we have so much information available to us that you can't even decipher anymore what the heck is true,
100%.
What's accurate, what's not, what's true, what's false, what's real, what's fake. You can't even tell half the time. In the app, when you're getting that answer, that you can basically live and die by that answer, right? And leave there with some confidence and not be searching for hours on end for one basic question to be answered. But anyhow,
100%.
So right, we're doing Coaching Wanted?
Correct, yeah. So this first clip that was sent in is from our guy Edward. He had just sent in a clip, and then I saw this comment that he had sent to Bert in the app. So I want to read the comment first, then I'll show you the clip. So he had just gotten a
shout out Edward, I think new member.
Yes, right? Definitely a new name to me. So he had just gotten RMZ 250 from 85, and the question he asked was, I was wondering if you knew how many weeks I should take before I start jumping again, because I'm dialed in with jumping on my 85, but I don't know how long I should wait before I start jumping the 250. So this is just a clip of him riding around on the 250. I would imagine he maybe a first ride or something, but the actual question I thought would be good for you to answer.
Yeah, so congrats on the new bike. You fit it perfectly. So I would say if you were comfortable jumping on the 85, there's no reason to wait any designated amount of time. Make sure that you practice the attack position, you practice your basic body positions on this bike, and learn the bike a little bit, learn the gears a little bit, learn the clutch. I mean, whatever feels different to you. Learn the power delivery. I think a 250 is actually easier to ride and easier to control than an 85. An 85 is a lot of power for a tiny little chassis, and it's two-stroke power, so it can come on all at once. Where 250, that power is gonna be so easy for you to control. And then just build slowly. So, and I would give this advice to anybody: find a jump that is crazy safe and small, and learn how to do it correctly on that. And then slowly over a long period of time, you can go to something that's bigger but still very safe and forgiving.
Yep. I like the fact that he's even asking the questions.
Cool, 85, that's also a question that we get a lot inside the app, Dave, is like, hey, I'm moving up to big bikes. Or should I move up to big bikes? Do I get a super mini? Do I get a super mini to then just be on it for 2 months and then I outgrow that anyway? There's a lot of those questions of, that in between. And when we did this call out last time, and I'll
Mhm.
do it again, if you are thinking about getting a bike, but you are unsure, get inside the Moto Academy app, send me a message inside of the app, and I guarantee you with 100% certainty that you will get a response from me
Mhm.
on my opinion on which bike you should get once I collect the information, age,
Yes.
height, weight, goals, riding experience, and then I can kind of wrap that together and
Yep.
give you my suggestion to save you time and to save you a butt ton of money. For gosh sakes, if you haven't tried Element yet, try it. Go to
Better?
drinklmnt.com. You got it. You're back. He's
Okay.
back.
Sweet. Okay.
drinklmnt.com/AJCat330.
Yes.
If you use that link, you can try 4 of their most popular flavors for free with your order. But equally as important, if not more important, that gives us credit for the purchase. So make sure if you're ordering Element, use that link. They are a huge
100%.
sponsor. They're part of what makes this podcast possible because the funding from them is what pays for the equipment for this podcast. So shout out Element for being a supporter. And it's something that our whole team would drink anyways. And that's the only type of sponsor that I work with and partner that we work with is somebody that I use the product religiously anyhow.
So get it and tell us why you love lemonade, basically, right?
Yeah, and comment below, what is your favorite flavor? There's been a heavy debate lately. drinklmnt.com/AJCat330. Go try it. You'll thank me later.
All day. But what I was
All right, Jake's
saying,
back.
what I was saying was, I don't know what happened, but the fact that people are asking these questions, dude, that you won't find that anywhere else, man. Riders that are so thoughtful and that want to do things the right way. What a huge movement this is in Moto to have people actually think about things in this way to be successful, to be safe, to ride the right way, and to have the most fun, to get the most out of their bike and their ability. That's so huge. And you're right, AJ, taking it to a safe jump, getting used to what the chassis is going to do, the power's going to do, all incredible things and things that I've seen AJ do. There were AJ moving up to the 250F. I'm like, why is this dude jumping like small stuff, doing one-handed blah blah blahs, and like, dude, it because it matters. That stuff actually it impacts. So AJ might not have known that we were watching him going, dude, why is he riding on this small track? But, yeah, that stuff it's key. It really is key. And shout out to even asking the question, man. That's so great.
Yeah, another, I think, huge shout out to the app, and that you guys we're all on the verge of unembarrassable is what I call it, right? Some of the questions that I see, I'm so proud of you guys for even putting yourselves out there to ask them, because I know the stigma of asking those types of dirt bike questions anywhere else on social media.
Oh, God bless.
We've talked about this before. You will get
ridiculed.
even if it's a good question.
Yeah.
Even if it's a good question,
Yep.
you could ask any question. And because what happens is it's the whole ego social dynamic of the person who is responding isn't doing it to help you. They're responding to try to boost their ego up in some way, right? So typically you'll get, even if it's a good question, that person will try to shoot you down or try to do something that's just trying to boost them up. Is really all that it is. And inside the app, we have just people helping other people.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. And the benefit of that, and this is what I like to teach with the mindset, is it reciprocates. So, whether you're doing it intentionally, selfishly a little bit for it to reciprocate, or you don't realize it at all, it does reciprocate, and that energy does. So you start to help others a little bit. The easy, simple way to describe the reciprocation on that is that as you study other people's footage and start to learn what they're doing wrong, that's step one. Then you can learn, what advice do I need to give this person for them? Prioritize. How do I prioritize this advice that I'm going to give them? Because I could give them a bunch of info that's not really applicable.
Yeah.
Or I can prioritize. Once you get good at that, then you're going to start to be able to do it with your own riding while you're out there on the bike. Not just recognize what your mistakes are, but recognize which mistakes and which things you need to prioritize in real time. It's a beautiful thing. It'll take some time, but if you help people the way Bert does, for example, so shout out Bert Bellinger in the app.
Shout out.
That is exponentially leveling up Bert's own riding, because he's just going to have hyper awareness of what he's doing in all of his movements. Yeah. So shout outs absolutely everywhere. And when this podcast ends, hang out to the end of it, because we're going to shout out top members. So you guys will get to hear that top 20 of who's been bumping each other around in that top 20. app members, and then new members. We're going to shout out some new members too.
Let's go.
All right, hit us with another coaching wanted here.
Sweet. So up next, we got a clip from Dominic Evans, which when I grabbed this, you hadn't responded to it yet, so you have seen this, but he says, #coaching wanted. So I struggled on the first turn more than anything on the track. I feel like I'm going to go over the wall if I carry more speed. How would I flow through this first turn? I feel like I have almost full stop to get around. Thank you. And the second turn is my first couple of times taking that inside line, just not trying to fall to the inside of the bike. So I will play this clip now.
Shout out Dominic Evans. Cool shot, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if it's the Insta360 making it look that tight or if it just is that tight of a corner.
I would say it probably plays a factor in it a little bit.
Oh, is that Field of Dreams? No,
this is, I think, Maryland, at least based off his track. Now, I do see...
Good job. Like, see this freeze frame right here? Great job. Footwork. Great job pinching those knees. Dominic, I forget which class you were at last, but you're tall on that bike, right? So getting the knees in the right spot, super important. Go back to the left-hander. So I just responded to this morning, I think, inside of the app. I think what would help is two things. You need to create a little bit more lean angle to help you get around that corner. And the easier way to create lean angle around that turn will be to stand up, in my opinion, would be to stand up a little bit deeper through there. So especially at your height, using that leverage of your hips and your knees to get that lean angle without feeling like you have to do some crazy commitment with the upper body when you're sitting. And then two, I don't know if this is chest mount or if this is chin mount. It looks high enough to where to be chin mount. Your head should be turning way more in this turn. With it being that tight, with a chin mount on, I should be seeing your head go all the way left when you get to that 40% mark in the turn.
Yes. Same
Same thing here. Tight turn like that, turn that head like you're flying a plane, and that bike will go the bike will go, what's the saying? Where your eyes go, the bike will follow.
There you go.
Boom. Shout out Premix Papa. And that should do the trick, but be easy on yourself because that section looks pretty technical. Especially the left-hander.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
I love that Insta360 shot.
I don't know if you caught this.
So good on that.
There's a quad on the track with him. What's going on there? What's going on in Maryland, guys?
Is there?
God bless.
Yeah.
Wow. But shout out Old Rocky Hill days, just having to deal with the quads out there.
Old Rocky Hill
Quad
days.
day.
So next up is a coaching wanted question from Jason Stickney. #coaching wanted. I have a nice corner track in the woods behind my house. Two of the corners sometimes have baseball or even softball sized rocks in the berm/rut. I keep telling myself it's good practice to try and maintain flow and have those rocks not take me out, but I always wonder if I should remove them to practice easy corner technique instead of threading the needle. What's people's opinion on this?
What would you say to that, Dave? That was an interesting question.
Yeah, honestly, I would say, in my experience, I would pull them out and like I wouldn't pack it in, so I still have some sort of interruption in the corner, which I always have struggled with. It's like if I get acceleration bumps or even chop inside of the rut, that's always thrown me off. So any chance I get to have that practice to flow, even despite that, I always love that. Hate it at first, love it after. So I would say to save your tires and to save you from, the constant whatever, I would pull them out, but like still try not to shy away from making some of those either divots or chop inside the rut to still figure out how to be smooth, even if it's just one section of the turn track, how to be smooth through all of that chop.
Spot on. So that was my response to him inside of the app too, is leaving them in there it's all good practice, right? But for the sake of my not popping tires left and right, I'm going to take the time to move those rocks out of there. And what's nice is if you're on a turn track, a lot of times it's a private setting to where it's just you out there, right? And you can kind of just work in your one main line. Once you work in your one main line, it's easy to pick those rocks. It's not like on a huge outdoor track where you feel like you're endlessly picking rocks forever, for all of eternity, and you never even make a dent. In a turn track, you can pick them and then you're good. So at Tomahawk, that's what I used to do on my Supercross track, is because Tomahawk is extremely rocky, and Chad has done a great job there with the dirt on the main track. But like what he was given with soil at that place to begin with was
tough,
horrendous.
Yeah.
So when I built my Supercross track, that was the first thing I realized. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just riding on rocks the whole time. As soon as I got my main line cut in, then I would just go out there and hand pick them, and then I was good. And when they would resurface, I would only have to pick a rock or two. It wasn't until the skid steer would get out there and re-prep it that I was kind of screwed again and having to repick all the rocks. Yep.
I agree as well.
Yep.
I hate rocks, and I don't like to use the word hate a lot, but my local track has so many rocks, it's almost like a potato farm. And the only race I did this year was probably honestly one of my better motos ever. Running top 3, like battling with top 3. I come into an inside line, and there was a watermelon-sized rock in the rut, and I got ejected and ended up getting 11th. So I got hopped on the pit bike after that moto, went and grabbed the rock and picked the whole section. I was so upset, but yeah, definitely no rocks in my opinion as well. So had to say that.
Yeah.
And then this is our last coaching wanted of the day from Sadie Hansen. She said, back for coaching wanted. Been working this dang tabletop. I feel so much higher and further than I'm actually going. Think I need to drop my heels and get my knees straight still. I'm so tall. I struggle with this. This was in 4th gear. So I'll play the clip now.
Okay. Do we know, is Sadie a guy or a girl?
A girl. I could see the hair.
Play it one more time.
Sadie, you're super tall for a girl. I mean, that's a 250F, right? Sorry if we don't know you're a guy or a girl. For gosh sakes, we suck. But first of all, okay, so good job. First of all, you will always have the sensation of I thought I was jumping way further than when you actually watch the video.
Will never go
get
away.
used to that feeling. That will never go away.
I don't
no matter
care
how good you get.
Yeah, even Jett is probably like, "Dang it, dude! I thought I launched that thing.
I thought that felt cool." And then you see the video. Gosh,
darn it!
Never what you thought. But pause it right when they get to the takeoff, like right here. So go a couple frames back if you can. On the takeoff, you're not far off. Heels need to drop a little more, knees need to come a little further back. But your upper body, you're on the right track. Let it play through just frame to frame here. So overall, your takeoff I'm okay with. It's as soon as you get into the air, go a couple more frames forward here. It's a little easier to see from the side shot, but like up there, you can see it. Is as soon as you take off, arms extend and your butt kind of goes to touch the seat. It might not feel that drastic as you're out there. It might feel quite normal and just what you're used to. But when you watch it on footage, that's not going to work. The bigger you jump, the more dangerous that's going to be. So you just have to stay in that position you were in on the takeoff. And if anything, actually, you'll have to readjust and come even more forward once you get into the air. So that way your goal is you could be forward enough to where right before your front tire touches the ground, you push your front end down just gently. And that's what will kind of finish off that arc that you want when jumping. If you push back to that position that you're freeze framed in right now, you're never going to be, now go to the end. I'm going to guess that there's no way they land front tire first. Probably land both tires at the same time. Yeah. You'll never be able to land front tire first jumping that way, which will get very dangerous when you're trying to jump further. If you're always kind of floating it Ronnie Mac style, so to speak. But great job. And yes, do not get discouraged when it comes to thinking that you are, because then you're just going to end up forcing the issue and pressing the issue when you don't need to.
Exactly.
That distance, that jump is perfect for you to practice what you need. Jumping that exact distance that you are.
This is one of the better coaching wanteds that we've seen, like better body positioning in a little bit. So hats off. Yeah, she's in the right spot, man. AJ's keys are going to get you. They're going to get you very far.
Let's go to new members quick. Let's give them a shout out. We're hour 4 minutes in, and then we'll get to our top 20 top members. But there are so many new members lately. I just want to give a shout out to everybody.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to you guys. Send us messages. I know it's a lot to digest when you first get inside of the app. But absolutely do not be shy. Actually, it might be easier for me because it's just far away enough. I'll just pull it up on my phone. Don't be shy. It's the members that come in and aren't afraid to kind of dive right in and send those messages. We will be able to help steer you in the direction that you need.
And we're friendly.
Just like I tell people at class.
We like joining, adding people to the family. Say hi to us. We want to know who you are. Again, when it's unbiased, but it really is a family. Like we all We love what we do. We love this stuff. So welcome. Talk to us. Bug AJ. He likes it. He's weird. Like enjoy this great app because there's so many aspects of it. I know I sound biased, but really met some of the greatest people through this app, you know, thanks to what the staff does. So enjoy the app. It's phenomenal. Ask us questions, interact, have a really good time with it. It is really, really fun.
Zach Sherburne, shout out. Mason Flynn, Arthur Nicholson, Jay Chandler, Ryan Robinson, Kevin Haynoski. It's so cool to see already too. They all got their profile pictures put in here. Eric Hardcastle, Austin Keefe, Joshua Melendez. Hashtag progress is my process. That's cool. Ooh. Gordy Hodgkinson, Mitchell Pearson, Lucas Trifanovsky. Oh boy. James King, Adolfo Osuna, Jacob Holiday, Theo Guillot. Wow, this is hilarious. You guys are gonna, I'm just murdering your last names. Landon McCombs, Danielle Dowling, Matthew Cannell, Michael Hauserman, Devin James, Joseph Abdelkader, holy cow, Jonathan Harriet, Carson Kazmarek, Jack Gamble, Brett Ellison, Paige Bennett, Dallas Thurn, Zach Dumitri, Troy Devolve, Addie Rose, Jacob Stearns, Ryan Palmer, Matt Dyke, Irvin Antel, Jenna Chanowitz, Grayson Tinner, Caleb Miller, Andrew Fardsman, Simon number 33. These are all within the last week.
Oh,
so
wow.
I can keep going here.
Holy crap.
Shout out Eric Gladney, Zachary Layton, Frank Domini, Jeremy Sen, Tu Saig Mortensen, Karen Cassidy, Thorkel Hoogie. Holy moly. The names. Knox Sherwood, Juka Partinen. And I wish it said where they were all from on this just initial screen here because they're from absolutely everywhere.
Wow.
Which is really, really cool. Peyton Wheatley, we just had him at class in Missouri. Shout out Peyton. Joshua Wheeler, shout out. Now for the moment of truth, let's see if there's been any mix up in the top members here.
Ooh.
Top members, it pulls from like all of your activity in the app, period. Over now, the question is, what period of time? It must be, is it lifetime? It's got to be.
It's lifetime, and it updates every day. I think it updates like maybe at midnight or something.
Holy crap.
Okay, because it doesn't bounce around super frequently. So when a change happens on here, it's usually, you know, a big deal. I'm in the top 5, which it's not easy to be in the top 5. We got Burt Bellinger at the top by a long shot. If anybody catches Burt Bellinger, we'll give you
something.
We'll
we have to give you something.
I'll fly you. You'll win a trip.
Yeah,
we'll give you a trip.
And
Austin Bott in second.
Shout out Bert.
Yeah, shout out Bert. Very, very helpful to everybody.
Yes,
including person. Myself. Austin Bott in second. Real shout GP in third. I am in fourth, which again not easy to get there. Jamie Mahone. Shout out driver Jamie in fifth.
Shout out
Mike and Andrew in sixth. Shout out to those guys. Just had those two in Missouri with us as well.
Hilarious.
Andrew's on the 250F now on my Honda, which was my Supercross practice bike, and he fits it super well.
Wow.
Matthew Giffing in 7th. YZ So Slow in 8th. These are some absolute heavy hitters.
Sheesh.
Baugh 328 in 9th.
Oof.
And how about this? Coach Ty breaking into the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Coach Ty. Looped Out Leatherman in 11th. Jordan McGregor in 12th. Alex Panda 13th. Shout out the UK.
Shout out.
Coach Alessandro 14th.
Ooh.
Jackson in 15th. Here we go. Hang on a second. We got King Friday 16th. And we got Dave Drakes in 17th.
Ooh,
Hold
wow.
on. He's in the main event.
Okay.
We got him in the main event.
I'm on the gate.
Max Pena in 18th. Moto in 19th. And rounding out the top 20, holding it down for the UK fam, we've got none other than Mark 24.
Mark 24. Let's go.
All right, now let's see who's right on that bubble. Who's in the top 30, but just trying to get into that main event. We got Christian holding it down from the Netherlands. And then we've got Marshall Demps. We've been seeing a lot of Marshall this year. We got Kyle 17, Pops the Outlaw, Vernon Knowles,
shout
Vinny
out.
Scafidi, who Vinny said he wants to go to TMA Supercross this weekend. I think it'd be his first ever race. So Ethan, that could be a really fun storyline of a vlog to follow.
Mm-hmm.
I told him he's got to do it. Jake S, Pole Master Jake, in there in the top 20. He was just that class in Missouri.
Super nice guy.
Wicked nice. Gave his spot away for free to somebody else, and then was there geared up, but didn't want to ride because he didn't want to impose. I'm like, Jake, ride, absolutely ride. In fact, for what you do inside of the app, do whatever class you want. You can do it for free for all I care.
Yep.
And he was so grateful. Jace Matson, R. Venz, Florian number 111, and Ethan Quinto rounding it out.
Woo!
Holy cow, who is that guy?
EQ himself.
Says photographer / filmer.
Dude, his DMs are
staff.
they're just filled with like just TMA ladies, you know, just the DMs are just flooded. So he's got a lot of stuff to go through, man. He's just, you know, just surfing through all the freaking ladies at TMA, man.
Wow. So shout out new members, shout out top members. If you guys want to get on that list, it is based on all of everything you do in the app. How many visits, how many times you click in there, your engagement, your direct messages, your live chat posts, your posts, live stream attendance, you name it. Speaking of which, I have a live stream tonight that I'm going to cancel. I'm going to put up a post in the app now. I'm going to do it tomorrow instead, Ethan. So just note that I would like to do a track walk live stream.
Oh, nice.
And just make sure you bring the whatchamacallit, unless I have that at my house. Just let me know. And I'll make sure I bring the. Okay. So I'll bring the bin with the, what is it called? Starlink.
Yeah. Oh, I'm bummed I'm not going to be there, guys. I'm bummed, man. I'm going to have so much FOMO tomorrow.
Well, join the live. Come hang out. You can hop in the live. We can talk about the track. We've done some track changes. So what we did actually is we cut out the pro section, and now that everybody will be riding the entire track.
Love it.
Which I think is going to make a world of difference. So it'll go kind of rhythm section in, 180, big 180 bull turn, and a big jump coming out. It's just going to flow a little bit better, and for everybody, for the people that were having to cut that section before, and for the pros that had to ride the tight pro section. And then we changed up after the finish line. There was sort of that triple that was like almost impossible to jump. We made that a 3-5-3. So small, big, small, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
Robbie calls it a pyramid. So I haven't seen it in person, but it sounds like it would be a lot better. And he did a full track reshape. So it's going to be, and we got rain all earlier this week. It's going to be sweet.
It's going to be so epic. That's awesome. I'm stoked to see the content from that one, guys. It's going to be epic. If you guys have not gone to one of these races and you're able to, please go. It is unlike any other. I texted AJ earlier. Was it yesterday or even this morning, where it was like, man, it's so great to have that atmosphere back. And bummed I won't be there, but I'm stoked that you guys are going to be there. AJ, send your niece a present because it's her birthday tomorrow. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Unreal. 1 year old. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Okay. Episode 157. We've done it. Toodles.